Your procrastination is not your fault. Saying that it's your fault you're procrastinating is saying you know other better ways to not procrastinate, but instead you are choosing to procrastinate. Procrastination is a result of an unmanaged primitive brain. And no one teaches you how to not procrastinate. No one teaches you how to manage your primitive brain. So, because you have no awareness about this problem, you're doing it because simply you don't know better. With this video, I want to help you understand why you're procrastinating and why you shouldn't feel bad about procrastinating. Our human brain is composed of multiple parts. The part that we're interested in talking about today is the primitive brain. The primitive brain is the first brain we started out with as Homo sapiens. But when you go back into the evolution tree, we all started as a single cell organism and then we branched out to different kinds of organisms. We became vertebrates and then we became mammals, and then inside that mammal we became primates and then the Homo sapiens, right? When we first started as Homo sapiens, we commonly think of the old times as like caveman times, right? During this time, human lives is the same as wildlife currently. And so there is a predator and prey relationship. You have to hunt in order for you to get food. And in this state, survival is the most important. Like all animals, we seek to reproduce and preserve our species. And in order to do that, you first need to survive. Some animals take care of this problem by producing as many offspring as they can because they're likely to be preyed upon. Human beings have a very large gestation period and we only get usually one offspring at a child. So we want to maximize our chances of survival. So the primitive brain is the brain that our ancestors started out with. And that brain's first and foremost priority is survival. This has some implications. So survival at its most basic form is living under pressure and being able to live when there are things that are actively trying to kill you. And so in order for you to survive against stronger and dangerous predators, you need to have that awareness, the sense, and the ability to detect when there is danger. So if you have an unsafe experience, your brain is going to be more alert to situations similar to that. For example, if you get slapped, when someone raises their hand at you, you're going to flinch harder than you did the first time because that experience was marked as unsafe and potentially life-ending at that time. And so your brain needs to be aware of that so that it doesn't repeat. If you got in a car accident in a four-way street and you were making a left and you got T-boned, every time you make a left turn, you're going to be hyper-aware because that has happened before and it's a known danger now. When you branch this out a little bit, the primitive brain also hates unknowns because the unknown presents a million opportunities, basically infinite possibilities for you to be not safe. And one of the big unknowns that happen is change. So, if you're sitting in your cave where there's a well-lit fire and you have quite a lot of hunted food, so you're good to stay there. And then suddenly, another tribes member comes back into the cave and says, we have to move, we have to switch caves. You're immediately comfortable there, which means you're very likely to be able to reproduce. You're very likely to continue living. Change means something has happened to that stability. Something has happened to this comfortable state where everything is comfy and good. So, it might be going to a better cave. Maybe the next cave is in a better location that's well shielded compared to the current cave. But still, the fact that you have to change, the fact that you have to gather your things and go out to another cave, that presents stress because, again, it's an unknown. You don't know if you're gonna like the new, better cave. You don't know while doing that transition to the new cave you're gonna be attacked. So this primitive brain hates and resists change. So how does this even apply to any of procrastination? So let's think about it. When you're procrastinating on an activity, that means you're not taking action. So in order for you to take action, you need to start doing it, but you're not taking action right now, right? So going from this state where you're not in action and then into action is change. So your primitive brain is resisting that. Oh, in order for me to act, I need to change what I'm doing, but I'm comfy right now. I'm sitting on my sofa right now, so by going to my desk and turning on my computer, that feels uncomfortable because that will lead to more changes. So that's a really big reason why people procrastinate, right? Another popular reason why people procrastinate is that the activity that they're procrastinating on is a giant blob of a question mark. So you're gonna do a school project, right? But that school project is a big question mark. Like, okay, so it's a diorama, but what is the work involved in making a diorama? You haven't specified that yet. So it's this big thing, and the only thing that you can think of immediately doing is small things. And when you compare that small thing and the effort required to do that small thing, and you compare it with the finished product in your head, it feels so overwhelming because it's a giant question mark. Another reason why people procrastinate is perfectionism, right? What if you don't like your product? What if you spend all this time and effort and you're really uncomfortable while doing it, and then you don't like the product? What if people judge you for that product? What if people say, oh, that's not really good? It's gonna feel really bad, right? And if you've had that experience of being judged before and that was a very damaging thing for your psyche, then your brain is going to be hyper aware of that potential danger. So procrastination is really the product of an unmanaged primitive brain. And so when you look at it from this perspective, of course you procrastinate. There's no real reason to not do it because it's such a natural reaction to the negative experiences that we have had in life, especially when it comes to being productive. And like I said in the intro, no schools teach how to be efficient with your time. No school has a curriculum on how to break down tasks, how to divide and conquer. No school has any curriculums on how to manage your primitive brain, right? You literally don't know better. You can occasionally just bite the bullet and white knuckle through your problems. But that's like holding your breath underwater. You want to breathe, but you're forcing your body to hold the breath. You want to feel comfortable, and if everybody does. It's a human and it's an animal instinct to want to be comfortable. But you're trying to overcome this procrastination problem and you're white knuckling through the problem. And while that is possible sometimes, it expends a lot of your energy. And when that energy tank is depleted, that's when you get a burnout. I hope this video gave you a good understanding of why the problem of procrastination happens and how it is not your fault. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos like this, please use the subscribe button down below to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You are not intentionally choosing to procrastinate even after having good knowledge about how to tackle problems, about how to do tasks, about how to get to your goal and actionable steps. Those are the topics for my next video that's going to be displayed here. So if you're interested in solving that problem now that you've understood the problem, click on that video, and I hope to see you in the next video.